So today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of having variety in the stack versus having a uniform stack. So I've picked up 2 coins today, which I will show you. Oh, and I'll show you what's in this box soon too. So in terms of stacking, I quite like to have, a bit of uniformity to the stack. So by that, I like to have, similar sized coins and just similar things. I just feel like it's a bit easier in terms of, managing it, and if I was to come to sell quickly, it's easy to say, right, okay, well, I've got 10 1-ounce Britannias, or 10 Tudor Beast Line of Englands, or whatever that might be, and move them on in a bulk nice and quickly. You obviously will know, if you've been watching the channel for any length of time, that I have quite a few sovereigns, and I've picked up 2 more today. So the first one is a 2009 at the top, so that's a modern, very modern. And the second one is 1919, so that is a date that I've been looking for a while. And as I record the video, I just need the one more date for George, but you haven't quite seen them all come out yet, because the videos are a little bit stacked up at the minute. So in terms of the modern ones, very good option. They're pretty nice and clean, they're uncirculated. So if you're picking those up, you'll usually get good condition. If you're picking up the Georges, again, these weren't all circulated, some of the later years. Some of them are a little bit more rare than others, but they're still in just bullion condition, fairly easy to come by, and usually at a relatively low premium. We'll look now what's in the box, and we'll continue our discussion about variety. So I picked up this, which is a quarter Krugerrand, and this is a proof coin. So there's a COA just here, and it's a 1/4 ounce of gold. Like I say, nice proof condition. I've got the other Krugerrand I have just to hand, which is not proof. This is just a normal coin, so it's a very, very good condition for the age. It's not a circulated coin, but some of these have had a bit of a tough life, and you sometimes get them that are a bit dinged up and so on. But back to the topic, I like to keep a relatively uniform stack for a few reasons. Like I say, it just makes it easy to manage, and if I was to shift in bulk, it does just make things a little bit easier. I also have preferences in what I'm stacking, so I like to keep to low premium, just easy to move bullion. So in the UK, it makes sense to pick up things that have a pound's face value, so like the Britannias or these beasts, the £100 face value. Now, picking up multiple lions, that was, a bit of an idea that in the future the premiums might go a little bit higher, like they have for the Queen's beast that you can see in the back there. Dealers are showing those at £2,000 per ounce at the moment, and that's with a spot price of around 1,600. So, if people are paying that, I'm not sure, but people will pay, a decent premium that they would higher than Britannia's for those coins. Not everybody, some people are just basic stackers that want the cheapest gold they can, and they're not too worried about what it is. For me, I'll pick up some fancy stuff if it is at a low premium, but on the whole, I want to keep it nice and uniform. So I'm collecting the set of the Tudor Beasts as they come out. We're just waiting for the bull at the moment. They have put the proof out, but not the bullion version, so hopefully that comes up soon. Everyone loves a buffalo, things like that, but there are also quite a lot of coins for us in the UK. Like I say, it makes sense to pick up these that have the pounds face value, and it's just a bit more beneficial for us over here. The Krugerrand, the eagles, the maples, they don't have the same advantages for us in the UK. So whilst it's nice to have them and it's nice to have a bit of variety, I do try and just keep to the Britannias and things like that. So in terms of sovereigns, there's even a lot of variety within the sovereigns. You could just be buying best value bullion and you'll probably pick up a bit of variety over time. The problem with variety, if you're paying additional premiums for the variety, and you need to sell in one go at the end, or if you're selling to a dealer in the future, if that's your plan, you are going to struggle to realise all of those premiums in the end. So if I paid, maybe, I can't remember at the time, but if I paid a little bit more for this than I did for a basic Britannia like down here, I wouldn't get that premium back necessarily if I sell to a dealer at the other end. you know, they're paying like a few pounds more for the Queen's Beast at the back there, even though they're selling them for hundreds of pounds more per ounce. So if you're planning to sell to a dealer, it's not going to be advantageous to pick up a variety. You're better off just sticking to the best value, you know, Britannias in your area. If you're in another country, then maybe that's a bit different. You know, maybe the Eagles will get you a better price. But if your local coin shop is paying the same for Eagles as they are for Maples, and Maples are a lot cheaper, then in my eyes, you know, it makes sense to pick up the Maples, unless there's going to be, you know, some other considerations. Now, in terms of having a variety, it does give you options when you come to sell. So I've got 1 ounce coins, I've got mostly Britannias, like I said, but I have got some other bits more that are a bit more fancy. And I do also have, you know, the odd Krug and a lot of sovereigns. So I've got new sovereigns versus old sovereigns, and it just gives me options. So if I come to sell, maybe a local coin dealer that I know, maybe he really likes sovereigns, but he's not that bothered about the 1 ounce coins. You know, maybe he has a lot of customers for sovereigns at the time. So if I had to sell and raise a certain amount of money, I could obviously sell the sovereigns, and that would, you know, they would go to him. That would be really easy for him to fulfill his customers' needs, and so he'd be more inclined to give a better price, or at least take them all, you know, in a crowded market. If he's got nobody that wants Krugerrands, you know, if he's asking around and everyone's like, no, I'm waiting for sovereigns, then he might start to pay a bit less for these. But there might also be other people who just pay the same no matter what. So in your stacking and collecting journey, it's worth getting to know a few different dealers, you know, what they are into and what they like to buy, what they like to pay. So there's some dealers that I wouldn't go to because of, you know, what they're paying. But I do from time to time look and see what they're selling, because that's where I picked up this from. I would never go to sell there. They must be paying very, very low prices. It didn't tell me exactly, but gave me an idea, and they were definitely paying below spot. So I wouldn't go to them to sell, but, you know, maybe from time to time they don't quite know the price of something, and, you know, a nice proof Krugerrand was a good pickup. So I would have preferred to pick up another sovereign, but the sovereigns, like I say, they were a terrible deal, and this was a good deal. So obviously, you know, make sure you're buying from reputable sources still. So lots to consider. What do you think? Have you got a varied stack, or have you got the uniform stack? Do you just pick up anything, or do you have a particular plan in that regard? So look forward to speaking in the comments. We'll talk soon.